Hello, Shadowcat back with the Humble Spotlight. We're back with Humble Spotlight, and I'm excited for this one. It is February. It is Humble February, and there is a new Humble bundle out. And while there's a couple of interesting things in this month's Humble bundle, this one just immediately stood out to me. It is Naheulbeuk's Dungeon Master, and I'm not sure if I've heard that name before. Actually, you know what? I'm going to check that real quick. So I'm going to go to Steam, and let's see. If I look up here, yes, right there. The Dungeon of Naheulbeuk, the Amulet of Chaos. If you recall, a while back, when did it, let me check my studio here. We're doing this live, okay? We're doing this live. I did another Humble bundle or another Humble Spotlight, and I believe it was in September of 2024. I'm searching. Yes, it was Humble September. Back in, no, not 2024, 2022, excuse me. Where we did the Dungeon of Naheulbeuk. This is by the same people. However, this is a little bit different. So, while in Dungeons of Naheulbeuk, we were a party of adventurers going through and solving everything, now we actually get to make the dungeon. And this is going to be so very cool. We never did finish that game. Should go back and finish that game at some point. Oh well, either way, we get to actually make the dungeons now, and we have to populate them and keep people alive and fight off adventurers that want to come in and break our stuff. So with a premise like that, I mean, how can you not? So let's do it. I'm not sure if this is a prequel, I don't know if this is a sequel, I don't know if this is a standalone sister series, I don't know what it is, but we're doing it. We're going back to Naheulbeuk. Let's go ahead. There's a sandbox mode. We're not going to do the sandbox mode, we're going to do the campaign. So we're going to play as Reviax, the steward of the dungeon of Naheulbeuk, build, furnish, populate the dungeon, and most importantly, try not to anger your master, the evil warlock Zangdar. Do we wish to start the campaign? Yes, we do. Let's see. Ironing the clothes, awakening the vampires.
For decades, the Dungeon of Naheulbeuk has been one of the crown jewels of the lands of Fang.
Huh, that's funny. I never heard of it when I was studying for my Bitter Warlock Sidekick certification.
Public relations are tough for independent dungeons.
Oh, aren't you affiliated with the Dungeons Fund?
With those unscrupulous parasites? Never. But we do have the most insidious traps, the most cunning guards, the most dreadful monsters, and the most remarkable treasures.
How delightful. May I look around?
No, we've been renovating. The paint's still wet.
Ah, too bad.
Despite our reputation being well established, I've decided that this dungeon needs to take things to the next level.
Yes, the ad made that very clear.
And I need more time for my magical research.
Certainly. So, about my compensation,
Well, let's not quibble over trifles. I'm aligned with industry norms. Not to mention, there's the gratification of joining a renowned wizard.
Yes, of course. May I meet the other members of the team?
Well, actually, not today. They're attending a seminar for process improvement. You know what I mean.
Process?
The clock is ticking, and you're not the only applicant. What's your decision? This is a once-in-a-lifetime offer.
I'm interested. Not like I have a choice anyway. No one's hiring half-goblins. There's too much discrimination in this sector. All right, I'm in.
Perfect, perfect. You made the right choice. And now,
Yes?
get to work, you wretch! I don't pay people to stand around.
Yes, Master. All right, let's see. Where is the dungeon staff? What state are the premises in? I'll have a look around the property. I wonder if signing this contract was such a good idea.
I mean, you should never sign a contract without your attorney there. Alright, so, that's the premise. We're a half-goblin, apparently. I've never been a goblin before. And, wow, there is nothing here. We do have some things. This is like a kitchen. Alright, so welcome to the Dungeon of Naheulbeuk. The dungeon has been in a poor state for too long. Your mission is to restore it. In other words, make it profitable. As you can see, its reputation is currently A1, which is really bad. Your goal is to improve it and make it the most feared and attractive dungeon in the lands of Fang. So, select Zangdar. Sure? Wait, are you over here? I think you're over here.
What? My time is precious.
Ah, okay. This is Zangdar, master of the dungeon. When his patience gauge reaches 0, it's game over. Sounds familiar.
Excuse me?
Okay, and this is us. Meet Ravax, the new dungeon steward. In other words, the head stooge. Well, it's also basically us. And then we needed to select a minion.
Yes?
Okay. The minion has an origin, a profession, a rank, and a salary. Grade 1 minions, interns, cost nothing. Because we don't pay interns. Let's see, a minion gains experience while working, thus increasing their rank. Higher ranking minions claim higher salaries, but fail less in their tasks. In the lands of Fang, unit of time is a 10-day week. Each week, all minions receive their salary. The dungeon fees deducted each week are shown in orange. Each minion has specific needs. If these needs aren't met, health and morale gauges will decline. Minions will die when they run out of health and resign when their morale hits rock bottom.
Master, if I may, isn't it a bit strange for an evil dungeon to have its tavern open to the public?
Ah, yes. Well, it's a convenient way to make some money. But I'm not very good at managing it.
I see. Well, it could prove to be useful.
Okay, so we have a tavern. Must be this. Is this the tavern? This must be the tavern. Yes, a simple bar. Okay. Right, this is the tavern. Perfect.
We'll never be able to retain our staff with such rundown premises, Master.
I have no money to spend on a luxury lounge for my lazy servants.
Oh, but it's a matter of standards. Take the Temple of Wismo, for example. They have 18 toilets just for the servants.
What? Those frauds. Well, do what you must, but don't go overboard. We're not running a hotel.
Let's see. We won't get anywhere without bathrooms, for starters. Chamber pots and manure heaps are so last century.
Alright. We need bathrooms. So, select construction. We're going to build us a bathroom. It's going to cost us 5 gold per tile. We've got 10,000. So, not a bad way. Allows minions to relieve, wash, and dirty themselves. or wash or dirty themselves. So let's see. Latrines? Oh wait, are we okay, hold on. Is this all? This is all stuff that goes in the bathroom. So it needs a door, needs latrines, needs a shower, a boiler, washing machine, a mud inflow reserved for greenskins. So goblins, orcs, and trolls. Let's see, a wet floor sign. We don't need that. I don't think so. Actually, we can do nothing with any of this stuff, to be honest. Okay, there's a door right here. Maybe we should go ahead and attach it here. I don't know how big any of this stuff is. Like, the door looks like it's 2 squares across. I don't know how big a latrine is. So, let's go ahead and... Ooh, no, not like that. How do I want to do this? Actually, what if we do this way? Okay, we've already got the door. It must be accessible by a door. We have a door. I guess I need to add another door. Okay, we'll put a door there. Select the latrines. Here we go. So a latrine is only 1 square. And we can put a couple of them right there. So, validate it. Time can be stopped or sped up. Sure. We'll go with triple time.
Perfect! We now have a decent bathroom. Now, dormitories with beds.
I don't pay you to nap.
Speaking of payment...
Later. Super busy, magical research and all that.
I think I'll have to put a little slush fund aside.
Do I have a button for slush fund? Okay, dormitory. I think we'll do it like this. And sure. Good place for a door is right there. And then beds. Yeah. We can put beds all the way along the wall, right? Right. We can even go ahead and put some beds on this side as well, if we need to. There we go. Done. So we got a dormitory right next to the latrines, which is right next to the tavern, which is right next to the kitchen.
Master, the living quarters improvements are complete.
Not bad, but very expensive. We'll have to find some more money. If I'd wanted to go bankrupt, I'd have hired an interior designer.
I hear you, but given the state of the dungeon, I'm not sure how we could defeat a party of adventurers, even beginners.
If we're not up to snuff, it'll be your fault, entirely.
But I just got here and, well, I do serve an evil wizard, not a charity.
Okay. So, we got a way to defeat people.
We have to develop this tavern to bring in some income.
The old tavern keeper is gone. Yet another ungrateful coward. I'm not dealing with this anymore. I've got better things to do. I must focus on my magical research and developing my management skills.
I can handle it. So, let's see. We need tables for customers, equipment for serving food and drinks.
In the meantime, I shall subscribe to a few periodical publications about evil dungeon management. We need to get this up to date.
I wonder if he knows what he is doing.
Don't you overspend. We want to extort gold from the poor, not waste our money on furniture for drunkards.
Okay, now we can improve things. So select the tavern. Alright, it attracts customers looking to spend their gold. Each item in the tavern is a maintenance cost that's automatically deducted at the beginning of every week, just like wages. The sum is in orange. Ugh. Okay. So, number of customers and the tavern's income depend on the number of seats. For the moment, your idiot minions occupy the places of your precious customers where they eat. So, select the editing tool. It doesn't generate any money during modifications. Okay. Now, simple bar. We've already got one. Crappy tables. We only have one. So we're going to go ahead and make another one of those. Okay, good. I can turn it. Good. We'll put a crappy table there. And... Ooh, actually a crappy table there. And... put another crappy table here. So that's 120 coins. Seems like a lot, should be fine. Also, it's now week 2, which means that we just had to pay expenses. It's not a lot of fun signing the front of the paychecks. But that's alright.
By the troll's limp! Minions use a tavern as their canteen. We should take that into account. There. Table and sideboard. This should be enough to lure in a few dupes.
Ugh. I hired an evil dungeon steward, not a lunch lady.
Indeed, Master. But we need some revenue. Look, all these customers should earn us some gold.
Orloff for debrief, Master. Hey, what's with this dull-looking goblin?
Hey,
Half-goblin? Who is this brute?
He is the dungeon swordmaster and guard commander. So, are you back from the retaliatory raid?
Affirmative. We made it to target location, the so-called Temple of Wismal. Enemy ambush fighting. 100% loss rate on our side. Debrief over.
What? You turkeys!
I was injured 6 times myself. We were expected. I am the guard commander, not a marauder. This requires specific operational preparation.
Clearly. This doesn't speak highly about your abilities.
Who asked you, you withered piece of lettuce?
Silence, you two! Revax is our new steward. As for you, Orloff, maybe I should get a new swordmaster.
Certainly, sir. But I'll complain to the Guild of Mercenaries and Dungeon Guards. This wasn't in my job description.
Ugh. Cursed be the bowels of the great Talifern! I'm so sick of these union demands! Beat it, both of you! I'm going back to my research.
I think we'd better try to collaborate. In our mutual interest, Sword Master.
Yeah, affirmative. For now, you little... yes, steward.
we can be friends here.
This failed raid explains why this dungeon is so badly guarded. Anyone can just waltz in. If we want to get rid of adventurers, we should deal with slackers first.
Affirmative. The downsizing caused by the incursion attempt on the Temple of Wismal is weighing on staff rotation. We must recruit new elite guards.
Guards are expensive. I read in Dungeons and Despots that support roles should be outsourced as part of a... atomized management of the company's processes.
Don't you mean optimized, Master?
Silence! You know nothing of modern dungeon management vocabulary. As for you, improve the guard, but with no superfluous expenses.
We could hire a few interns. They shouldn't cost us much. We'd just have to think about feeding them from time to time.
Affirmative. That's it for now. I'll bring them up to speed. Trust me on that. Attention! At ease.
Okay. The guard room is vital to the dungeon's defense. Place it near the dungeon's entrance. So we need a guard room. And I have an idea. It's vital near the entrance? How's that for near the entrance? And then we're going to need... let's see. The Ligonist panel used for downtime. Okay. So we just need this. And a human guard locker. So, yeah, we can put this right here. We'll get a couple of them. In fact, we'll get a few of them. I can't put that there? Why not? No? Okay, well, I guess that's all we can really do. How do I get rid of this? Delete? Ah, there we go. Okay. No, I don't want to cancel construction. This looks good. This looks good. So we got 4 lockers, we got a table, we got the doors that go in, we're good. 400 coins, well spent. Perfect. Alright, so we got the guard room, we got 3 lockers for human soldiers. Alright, each locker automatically recruits 1 or more guards. They go about their business until the alarm goes off. When it does, they automatically go into battle. Beware, each locker increases the population of the dungeon. The number of guards is always displayed.
The first interns have arrived. Soldiers, attention! Line up in pairs in the front rank. I only want to see 1 head.
I'm curious to see how he goes about training them.
Ideally, we should find a pile of dirt and make them dig a hole to bury him.
But that's absurd!
Negative. This is training through blind obedience. To think is to disobey. Come on the double, rookies. Hop 2, hop 2, hop 2.
Alright, now we just have to survive an incursion. Oh, there it is. Well, let's walk right in.
Right. Aim for the knees and the eyes. Be sly and cruel. Honor and chivalry are for losers.
Get him! Come on, you can do it. I mean, we outnumber them 2 to 1, I think. Alright, one's dead. Get the last one.
Orloff for debrief. The intruders were evicted from the perimeter. Clean sweep.
Perfect.
Ah, finally. This is a dungeon, not a squat for teenage pipe-smoking dropouts.
Wait, a strike is underway? Why is there a strike underway? What's wrong with you?
Relax! Why are my minions so agitated? I can't focus in such a ruckus.
One of the servants is on strike, Master. He's protesting against his working conditions.
I could send the guards to slaughter this slacker. Civilians are so entitled.
I'm not sure that's the best approach for retaining competent staff, Master. We must listen to his demands and fulfill them, if they're legitimate.
I don't care about the specifics. I just need this rocket silenced. Deal with it, or you'll get the whip! Incidentally, there's an article in Dungeons and Despots about the psychological torture of middle management minions.
Okay, so we gotta fulfill his needs. Let's see. Wants to work with their pet chicken. Wants to work 6 days per 10-day week. Wants dental coverage, don't we all? Wants 5 days or 5 weeks off a year. Wants a raise. Wants a coffee break. Wants to be able to drink in the workplace. Wants a glass of water. You can have a glass of water, dude. Wants to sit 5 minutes per hour worked. That's not unreasonable. Also wants Zendar's resignation. Okay, that's not going to happen. Okay, at the beginning of each week, strikes can break out in the dungeon with potentially disastrous consequences. Strikes have the effect of annoying Zangdar. When the striker's energy gauge is empty, they'll stop protesting. If this happens, the morale of minions is greatly reduced. The striker's unit always displays their demands. Meet the demands to end the strike. Or, you know what? We could just forget about their unattainable demands. We can get rid of this ingrate by firing them. However, firing them costs gold. Okay, you know what? Get out of here.
Out with the striker. It'll make an example of him. Still, I should try to make sure it doesn't happen again. It's done, Master. Everything is back to normal. The strike is over.
About time. Let's move on. I've just been informed that the Temple of Wismal has increased its reputation, while we've been sitting on our haunches whistling nursery rhymes.
We should limit the risk of strikes. The dungeon won't be able to repel adventurers with disgruntled minions.
Affirmative. To smash those little snoopers, you need motivated, and therefore well-fed, guards.
These matters are unworthy of a high-level wizard. They're better suited for interns.
Of course, Master. I'll see what I can come up with. But we'll need a cook.
As long as they're not too expensive and can cook sumptuous meals. Bear and beer stew, for example.
It's also necessary to adapt the food to each species. If we serve elfish fare to goblins, they'll start eating the elves too.
Okay, yeah, that's fair, I guess. You need to get the hell out of here before I kill you. Reviax needs an office. Okay. And then we need to place a desk in it. So, Reviax's office. I wish you would tell me how big these things are. It looks like it's only 2 wide, though. So, what if we just, I don't know, took this and... Five by 5? No? Okay. I guess it's got to be a minimum of 6. Oh, wait, it's probably going to be a minimum of 6 just because it's got to be able to fit the door. Okay, so we do this, put the door there, get a desk, and put the desk here. And there, that should be all we need, right? So workers should come through here. They got to go through security, of course. And that should bring them all the way back there. Oh, I just noticed there's another door over here, too. That's troubling. More than one entrance. Or is it? I don't see a way for anyone to really get back here. Well, we'll deal with that when the time comes. For now, let's build an office. Okay, and the desk. There we go. Alright, and that brings up recruitment. So, we need people. We need a cook, specifically. And that's a cook hat, so you're a cook. You're an orc. You're a cook. You have no expectations. You are carnivorous and filthy. That seems like a... Filthy is bad for a cook, I would think. But you know what? You're my only option, so... okay. We'll take you. So we got 4 guards, 1 cook. Okay, well, I'll give it to him. He does sound motivated. Okay, navigation arrows. Let's see, he's carnivorous, he's filthy, we already saw that. There's no alterations. The origin of the menu determines its special traits and behaviors. For example, orcs are carnivorous, which requires your kitchens to produce meals of meat. Okay.
Ahoy! I heard you're looking for a cook?
Already got one.
Well, yes, but I just hired one. An orc cook. It's the best I could afford. Are you qualified?
I sure am. I've been a cook, a barber, adventurer, surgeon, executioner, and embalmer. I can peel and bone like nobody's business. Mel Boots, here to serve you, with a preference for ale. Anyway, do you have someone for your tavern?
Well, actually, we don't. It is true we could use a good tavern keeper, but my budget's a bit tight.
I'll skim my pay off the take. Come on, you won't regret it. I'll turn it into a first-class boozing den. All of Fang will come here to get hammered. Just gotta keep the dishes real salty.
Gotcha! Relocating towards the bar. March! Huff two! Huff two!
Okay. So, minions are eating at the tavern, reducing the maximum number of customers. A canteen allows minions to eat in separate rooms, which won't scare away your most wealthy clientele. So really, we could use a second one of these, is what they're saying. And I'm pretty okay with that, actually. Interestingly, though, there is kind of the matter of how would we even go about that, because things here are going to be a little bit weird with like this really narrow walkway. So it wants us to build another canteen for the minions to feed themselves. And I agree. We should build them another canteen so they can feed themselves. However, while I am in agreement with this, we don't really have the time for it. So, here's what I think we're going to do. We're going to take a break here. When we come back next time, we build a staff room, essentially. And we'll make the best of that. It's going to get interesting. Especially since right now, like, we're not much of a dungeon. But I think we'll get options for that later on. I'm liking it so far, though. I like it so far. I love building things, and this is going to be fun to build. So, if you want to see how this place turns out, make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon, that way you get notified every time these videos come out. If you know somebody else who's also into tabletop gaming, you know, Dungeons & Dragons, Pathfinder, stuff like that, or dungeon or city builders in general, then share this video with them. Otherwise, I guess I'll see you next time. Leave a like on the video. If you like me, leave a comment down below, and I'll see you next time for more Dungeon Master. Until then, take care.